How's everybody doing? We're on Big Brother Canada Season 10, Episode 15. Quite an exciting episode. After we left off, we had a double eviction. First one getting voted out was Tanisha, I believe. She was put on the block by Jess. And the next one to get voted out was, in fact, Jess. Unfortunate, but it happens like that. And then we come on to this week, which pretty much the backstory of what happened during the votes. It was a 7-2 split. There was initially a plan to get rid of Gino. It came down between Jess and Gino, and there was initially a plan to get rid of Gino, proposed by, I believe it was Kevin. Proposed by Kevin. He got Marty, Josh, Betty, Helena, and Marty, Josh, Betty, Helena, and then himself. That's 5 people. That's all they would need out of a nine-person vote. But as they got in there, the only people that voted to get rid of Gino was Marty and Helena. Josh got in there and he voted to get rid of Jess. And as he was leaving, Kevin asked him, did he do it? And he said no. So then Kevin changed his vote, which leaves Marty now feeling like he betrayed Gino for a second time, which he did. The thing about Marty is he's one of those people that don't really know who they are because they've never been confronted with the realities of life. They never really had to struggle in a way that would reveal the truth of their own nature. Because you could just tell from the first couple of episodes, the way he was just sort of being honorable and the way he portrayed himself. I think it was the moment when Gino said something to him about him being a backstabber and all this stuff, and he lost it. It was more like he was trying to protect that image rather than him being insulted. And it just shows his true character, because when he's confronted with actually making decisions and having to deal with that stress of a situation not going the way he might want it to be and not having the sort of control that he would like, and he doesn't have that kind of safety of life where his failures are sort of, he kind of knows where things are going to go. You just work a job, you get paid, you do this, and things are just sort of orderly in a way that society sort of protects people from just the chaos of life. He's you can see just the way he plays the game, he's very indecisive and very emotional in the moves that he makes. And that's his true character. But he would never know that living the life that he's been living, that, you know, that's just the truth of who you are. And he's not good under pressure. So we come to this week, and most people revealed their games as far as who they're working with when they had to choose to protect someone. I think it was the first one to win when it came to the second eviction of the double eviction. It was more of like an elimination sort of thing. And the first one to win safety was Moose. And after that, they became the chain of safety, which pretty much means Moose had to choose someone to protect in the game, and that person choose someone else, and they sort of go down the wire until there's only 3 left. And that's how we got down to JC Lynn, Jess, and Gino. And JC Lynn won safety in the second competition, which left Jess and Gino on the block. And most people revealed their games. For instance, Moose chose to protect Herman, and Herman chose to protect Josh, which revealed their games entirely. But Kevin played it smart, where he wanted to protect Helena, but he knew that that Marty had a close relationship with Helena, where they kind of did a final 2. So what he did was he protected Marty, and then Marty protected Helena, which actually worked in his favor doubly so, because when it came time for them to, when Gino kind of confronted them about who the 2 votes were, he confronted all those 5 people that was in that room, because Marty already revealed that when he tried to lie to Gino, Well, he didn't try. He lied to Gino and said he wasn't one of those votes. And he told him who those 5 people were in the room. And Gino confronted all of them and asked them, what happened with the votes. Marty didn't reveal that it was Kevin's plan because Kevin protected him. And, that just goes to show how those little moves can kind of work together. And I don't know if Kevin planned it that way, but it was a great move where he got to protect his #1 ally. And he got the safety from protecting from protecting Marty, which worked in his favor, because even when Marty was being chaotic and volatile and blowing up his own game, he didn't rat out Kevin. So that was great gameplay right there. Down. I think this week it was just more of everyone going around and trying to find out who the 2 votes were, and Marty, just lying. And he was he was very passionate with his lies. Marty was one of those people that he was so hesitant about telling a lie, but when he actually get into lying, natural. Just goes to show, like, people aren't who they portray themselves to be in most cases, simply because they're just not tested in that way. And just the way he naturally lied and the way he was so passionate when he told his lie, he was offended that people would question him. He has told a lot of lies in his life. It's just not who he is not who he portrays himself to be. Yeah, because he would just go in front of the camera and just in the diary room in front of the camera and just show how emotional and distraught he is about having to tell this lie, and he goes out to tell the lie, and it just flows so naturally. It's like, you might not be who you say you are. And Helena's a terrible liar, which is why she said nothing. Every time someone questioned about who the vote was, all she did was talk about what happened in the room. She never said she didn't vote that way or did vote that way. And it's very obvious on her face that she's lying. But Gino was suspicious of, I think he thought it was Betty and Josh. I'm not sure why, but he thought it was Betty and Josh, and those 2 were not the ones that voted out. Oh, I know why he did that. It was because of Marty. When he lied about voting that way, those are the 2 people he threw under the bus. He said they came up with that plan and they betrayed him and they set him up, which doesn't make sense because Kevin was the one that came up with the plan. But yeah, get that selective hearing, I guess. All right, we got to. They spend most of this episode just trying to figure out who voted what way. And we get to the HOH competition. This was an interesting one because I was ready to like shit on Betty in this competition. I'm like, oh, she's gonna suck. She's gonna be terrible like she always does. And it started out that way. Show you a little. It started out that way. She couldn't really get it together. But as it went on, Betty was actually one of the contenders in this competition. Show you a little scrub it right there. As you can see, we have this little ring in the center there, and it's like red light, green light. When the light turns red, you do nothing. When the light turns green, they all have to toss a hoop into that little, onto that pole right there. And yeah, it's very simple competition, but it's nerve-wracking because you see everyone right there just throwing, and yeah. And it's just like an elimination-based thing, so to ratchet it up, less people are in there, just kind of just ratchet up the anxiety. So it was a good little intense competition for everyone there. Went down the wire. Yeah, Betty was killing it. I think she got down to like final five or 4, something like that. No, yeah, it was 4. I think it was Betty, Herman, Marty, and Josh left. So she got down to final 4, and then she got eliminated. And then Herman got eliminated after her, and then Josh won. No, Marty won, sorry. Then Josh got eliminated, and then Marty won the HOH again. So good job to Marty, especially after having to go through all that stuff because his own mess ups in this game. He's just not good under pressure. He's not making smart decisions. And it's because he's choosing the wrong allies. He got a little bit of Kyle in him where he's kind of indecisive and people have to throw him ideas before you can grab onto something. Let's see, he won HOH and immediately admitted to Gino that he was one of the votes, which completely lost all trust in him from Gino. Gino was like, oh, he's a rat now. He's betrayed me twice. He keeps doing this. And it's like, yep, it's over. So he lost that alliance, but then he tells Gino, in order to make up for it, he's like, you just tell me where to vote. You can use my HOH. Yeah, wherever you want me to vote, you can vote, which makes no sense. You just lost his trust. Why would you give up power as well? Because he's still going to get rid of you. He still don't trust you. Just bad game moves all around. He told Gino, and Gino told JC Lynn, and then he took JC Lynn to dinner, and he told her. And then when everyone was in the HOH room, he revealed it to everyone in the room. Everyone in the room, and everyone was like, who the other vote is. And, you know, Helena didn't say anything. I think Summer kind of figured out it was Helena just by reading her body language. Yeah, but that was basically episode 15. I want to see who he puts up for eviction. It's looking like he's planning to do Josh and Betty, but as emotional as he is, Gino is probably going to have an influence there, and he's going to end up putting up Herman and Betty or something like that, or Herman and Josh, just like a bit of him and a bit of Gino. So we'll see how it goes. It was a very interesting episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So till next time.